Stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can win a Little Rocket or Proud Papa. Greetings audience, I'm Boomstick, and today we'll be looking at the Little Rocket and the Proud Papa and all their barrel attachments that I have. The Little Rocket and the Proud Papa are both compact, modular, direct plunger systems designed to work with a variety of barrels. They were designed by Out of Darts and Tariq, which I believe I'm saying that right, but I could be wrong. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. They are available on his website with a variety of colors and options between triggers, pull systems, whatever you like. They probably have it. And right off the bat, I can say these are very sturdy and solid builds with really good print quality. I'm really happy with how these turned out. You can get them either pre-built or disassembled. When I ordered these, I ordered them as the kit, so I had to put it together myself. We'll go into that later on in the video. First, let's talk about the barrel options. Alright, first up, obviously, we have the standard Elite barrel, designed specifically for full lengths, and you can also technically use it with rockets. However, the performance isn't great, and we'll go into that in the firing demo. Next up, we have the Ultra, which, honestly, Ultra's growing on me. Between the Spring Thunder Ultra Shell that I had a chance to use in the Breaking Wind and using this barrel, it's growing on me. You're going to start seeing more Ultra. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that, but it's fascinating. Next up, we have the Boomco barrel, and honestly, this is probably the last time you'll see Boomco on my channel. I loved Boomco when Boomco was still around. I very often ran, I think it was a Dynaclip, some kind of clip pistol thing. There's footage on my channel of me using it. I can't remember the name of it, but I love Boomco. However, with it no longer being around, and honestly, with half darts readily available, it's just not as... Not that it's not as good, but it's not as overwhelmingly better than the other options out there like it used to be. So, unfortunately, this is the last time you'll probably see a Boomco dart on my channel. Maybe, who knows, but I have no reason to go after Boomco. So, aside from that, moving on, we have the Rival barrel. It can hold 1 or 2 rival rounds. I personally will only be using this with 2 just because I don't see the point in firing a single rival round, but that's just me. But I do like that. Now, getting into the really interesting stuff is we have a half dart barrel. Now, what makes this different from the full length is, besides the fact that it's designed a little bit differently to where most of the pressure from the full length is only in the back end of the barrel and the rest of it's semi-loose, so you get most of your seal all the way in the back. This one also has nubs on both sides to where you can put it in, fire, then, like a quick reload system, you can put a dart in, twist, turn it around, and you're ready to go fire again. Which is a really neat system, and I'm really impressed with the design on that. Next up, we have the triple shotgun blast, which can be used with either half darts or full lengths. Personally, I'd probably go with full length just because it'll give you more of a shotgun blast, or spread rather. Although with the half darts, you can get a little bit farther distance. It does technically work with 6 half lengths, just not very well. So I probably will only use this with 3. But it's nice to have another shotgun option. Next up is the Mega. For all of your Shield, Highlander, Jedi, whatever specialty monster of the week you're fighting, this will usually work with it. And it works well. Lastly is a barrel that I don't think I ordered, that I think just got put in the... I don't know. I'll have to look at my receipt again, but this is an inline clip. You load in 3 darts, and you're ready to go, where you fire, dip, and then you're out. I really like this design. If you've been watching lately, I've been getting more into the inline clip game. This is a previous video with my inline hammer shot. And I'm really glad to see this system utilizing an inline clip barrel because it's effective and will probably be my main barrel during pistol rounds. The one downside with this is if you're carrying multiple, like I have 2 of them here, so if I want to try to just reload in a full barrel, unfortunately you have to be careful about the orientation because there's nothing holding in the last 2 darts, so if it does tip over, they will just fall out. So I'm not sure how viable having multiple inline clip barrels is going to be, but it's still rather functional. It's just you got to be careful if you're carrying around not to jostle them around too much. So that might be an issue. Now that we've talked about the barrels and the basic function of the little rocket, let's go over the Proud Papa. The Proud Papa utilizes 2 screws and 2 nuts in order to attach to any Picatinny rail on your blaster. Just to undo these 2 screws all the way. And then you can just slot it on your blaster as such. Line it back up. And assemble. Now, as you probably heard other people say, when I bought this, I got it with the trigger on the top. This really would benefit from having a trigger on the side because it's just easier to smack the side of the blaster as opposed to trying to get your hand to the top. So in the future, I will probably end up buying another one of these Proud Papas and getting it with the side trigger. But it's compact, it works well. I do find that it's better if you put the Proud Papa somewhere around the handle, so when you're priming it back, you can actually get decent angles on everything. So I just find that it works better if it's somewhere around the grip as opposed to being all the way in the front or all the way in the back, obviously. So keeping it around the grip is what I would recommend. I do also find that it's a little bit more difficult for me to thread on the Proud Papa barrels. I'm not sure if that's just the way I assembled it. And I have also a bad habit of trying to twist it the wrong way. So it's a little bit harder for some reason than my little rocket. That might just be because of the angles and everything, but it's just something to consider. But it's not anything that I would really worry about because honestly, I don't think I'd be changing barrels out on the Proud Papa mid-game just due to logistically how easy it is to change out. I'd most likely just keep the Mega one on there as opposed to the little rocket, which I can change out barrels rather quickly with, which you'll see in the firing demo. So, let's start with assembling. Out of Darts has excellent instructions for assembling the little rocket and Proud Papa. It all starts with assembling the plunger. After you put the O-ring on the plunger head, you'll take the priming rod and slot it through the back cap. Add your chosen spring and attach the plunger to the top. It's a tight fit and it took me a little bit to line up correctly, but once it's slotted in, you can screw the plunger to the priming rod. Once your plunger system is assembled, you can attach it to the back of the body. The Little Rocket and Proud Papa bodies come with the plunger tube and nuts pre-installed, and possibly the front O-ring as well. In my package, the Little Rocket came with the front O-ring installed, while the Proud Papa did not. It's just a simple matter of slotting into place, so it's not a big deal either way. I did find that you have to put a good amount of pressure on the screws to get them to grab onto the nuts inside the body. For the trigger assembly, you just have to add a small spring, slot it into place, and add the metal pin. I was able to push it in most of the way with my finger, and push it flush with the blaster with the back of a screwdriver. The only additional assembly for the Proud Papa is adding the nuts for the Picatinny attachment piece. Overall, it's a very simple assembly that should only take a couple of minutes to complete. Now on to the firing demo. One of the things I discovered in my testing is that the Proud Papa and Little Rocket do vacuum load, so I found it easier to prime the blaster while there wasn't a barrel on it or while the barrel was empty. This is specifically notable in the Mega Barrel, the Elite, the Triple Barrel with half darts, and the half-length barrel. Now, as you saw from the firing demo, it is a very intuitive system. I was able to go through barrels incredibly fast with the Little Rocket, and honestly, between the two, I find myself preferring the Little Rocket. I will most likely carry this with me every time I go onto the field just because it's so small. You can just throw it in a small pocket or in the bottom of your dump pouch or something. It's a great scavenger pistol that takes up almost no space. So honestly, despite everyone being hyped for the Proud Papa, I find this to be way more, I guess, comfortable to use for myself. But that's just my opinion, of course. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. And if you can't tell, I thoroughly recommend both the Little Rocket and the Proud Papa as excellent sidearms and blasters attachments. It's fantastic. Now let's talk about the giveaway. For this Christmas season, I will be giving away 3 Little Rockets or Proud Papas. The way it'll work is after the winners have been selected, they will go on to Out of Darts, write down what specs they'd like for their Little Rocket or Proud Papa, send it over to me along with their address so that I can go on to Out of Darts, order the blaster, and have it shipped to them directly from him. as soon as he's able to get it out to them. In order to enter, you must do 2 things. You must be subscribed to my YouTube channel. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. The other thing you have to do is comment down below the Proud Papa / Little Rocket barrel that you think that you would use the most. The winner will be randomly selected. Entries will close New Year's Eve right before it turns into midnight. And the winner will be randomly selected New Year's Day, and I will post a video in response. Only 1 entry per person, so please do not spam my comment section. I will be disqualifying people who spam my comments. So good luck to all of you, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is you guys are celebrating out there. So get in those entries, and I'll see you all New Year's Day.